Yeah, what I was telling is, uh, yeah. So probability of x greater than equals to 3 by 4 or x lesser equals to 3 by 4, these two probabilities are bounded by this 4 by n value. This is the bound. Because I am taking here, see, this is the mod value. So we get the bound on both sides. Now both side bound, you have seen the distribution is something like this. So your distribution is symmetrical. By symmetry, you can claim that probability of the number of heads more than 3n by 4, that value will be 2 by n, exactly 2 by n. That is half of 4 by n. Okay. So out of this, the conclusion is probability of getting more than 3n by 4 heads in a sequence of n coin flips is 2 by n. This comes from the by symmetry. Okay, so that is one application of, like, if I give you that find out the probability of, in a you are doing a, say you are instead of coin, maybe you are taking a die, you are just rolling a die and you are trying to find the probability that there is say the it lands on, say 5. Okay, you find the probability of getting more than 70% or 80% of 5s in a sequence of n roll of dice. So for that, what you have to do, you have to find, first you have to find the Markov's inequality. Based on that, you will be getting a result. Then you have to apply, you have to find the variance, you have to apply the Chebyshev inequality, and that will give you the bound of the probability. Okay, now let us get back to Coupon's collector problem. Coupon collector problem. What we have got so far from Coupon's collector problem? We had xi. What was xi? This was probability of collecting individual coupons, right? Probability of individual coupons existence. Or maybe I can write in this way that if ith coupon has been collected, when the next coupon will, whether I can get the next coupon or not, that I can represent in terms of xi. So x is the total number of boxes that we took as sum of xi I equals to 1 to n. When n is the number of distinct coupons. And p is the probability of success. Here success means what? That the coupon have been collected, right? And we have seen that these xi's are geometric random variable. Now what we have got previously, we have computed the value of expectation, right? What is the expected number of this x? X is total number of boxes, so this x represents total number of boxes collected. So So we then computed Ex. What was this value? E of x. Can you recall?
1 by p, ma'am, expected geometric progression. Geometric.
Yeah. What was that? P by
1 by p.
1 by p.
Expect. Sorry, 1 minus p by p square, ma'am. Sorry, my bad. Or 2 my.
E
1
of
minute, ma'am.
x. Yeah, P of x, right. So this was. So I have to take P. Okay, sum over. I write it in this way. P of xi I equals to 1 to n. I have done a step jump. P of xi is, I know, this is for individual xi geometric random variable. What is this expectation value? For this E of xi is what? 1 by p, right? Is it 1 by p? Check.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it is 1 by p. That means what is going to be this? P of xi. That is for any arbitrary random variable. Okay. I should not write xi here, you will be getting confused. P of yc. You tell me what was the total I have calculated before.
N by p, no, ma'am, because everything is same. So
N by p.
all the x's are same, ma'am. So like probability of success, so like that will be equal to n times 1 by p. So
Okay. I think you have forgotten. What was this xi? This xi was that I want to collect the ith coupon, whereas all I minus 1 coupons are already been collected, right? So what was its probability? For this case particularly, what is this value? E of xi. One minus something. One minus what? How many coupons I have already collected? I minus 1. How many coupons I am left with? Total number of coupons what? N?
N minus I.
So it is n minus I plus 1.
Plus 1, yeah.
Yeah. So if we take sum over this, what we were getting finally? This is E of xi. So what I have to do is I have to take sum over this. You don't take copies, right? That's what I can understand from. See, that is the problem if I try to recap. Okay, so this is actually, I can write it 1 to n 1 by I. So this is n into hn. This was what we got, where hn is harmonic series. And this is actually order of log n. So you can write n log n. That is also fine. But in that case, it will not be equal. Now, can you recall? This was what we have done so far. This we have already calculated. So, from this we can understand that if we collect NHN coupons, NHN boxes rather, boxes, collect NHN boxes, there is expectation that you have collected all n coupons. That is what we have done. But it is expectation only. Now what we want to do? We want to find the tail bound of this expectation. That is how much the actual value is going to vary from this expectation. So just first you apply the Markov's inequality. Markov's inequality is what? Inequality. Markov inequality is the what is the expression? Probability of x greater than equals to a, right? Less or equals to e of x by a. This is Markov's inequality, isn't it? So NHN is my e of x. Say I am taking twice of NHN. That is, whatever is the expected size, I am taking twice of that size. Now I want to see how much it can vary. So probability of x greater than equals to 2 into Hn. That will be less or equals to what? This one is NHN, 2 into NHN. A is 2 NHN. So this is going to cut off, means half. So that means 50% probability. Are you understanding what I am getting at? This tail distribution is telling you that if you collect NHN is your expected number of boxes that you have to collect to think like that is to be like how, what term should I use? To expect that all your coupons will be present in your boxes. Okay, that is NHN. Here it is only expectation. That is, you are expecting, but we wanted surety. We wanted to win at any cost. It might like we have infinite number of boxes available, and we can afford them. In that case, we are thinking theoretically that how many number of boxes we first have to collect to be 100% sure. We want to be sure that we will be going to win. Okay. So in that case, we are asking for the help of the tail distributions. First tail distribution is Markov's inequality. That here, see, I am taking twice of the expected number of coupons, twice of the expected number of boxes, and I am taking this size. If I take this size, then what is the probability of winning? This probability is 50%. Okay. But we might not be happy with it. So what else we can do? We can increase this, right? So if I take by changing this value, this constant value, you can get some other kind of probability also, but that will not be that much useful. If this Markov's inequality will not give you that variance value, right? Variance we are not calculating. So first now let us try to apply Chebyshev's inequality. What is that? Probability of x minus ex, right? This to be greater than equals to a. This is less or equals to variance of x by a square. Right? So this is my inequality. Now here I know the value of ex. This is known to me. A maybe I can take say 2NHN or any other constant value. That depends on what I want. So now what is the variance value? That I still don't know. So I have to calculate the variance first. So variance for the coupon collectors problem. This I have to calculate. How we can do that? I know the variance of any geometric random variable. Geometric random variable variance of y, say y is, this is what we calculated the last day. Anyone remember? One minus p by p square. This we calculated last day. That is for if this is y is a geometric random variable with parameter p. In that case, variance is this. This calculation is very simple. If you remember, we were simply applying the geometric, what is called GP series, not geometry. GP series we were applying there. Okay. So here the same, this formula we have to apply now. So variance of x. This is again sum. So sum over I goes to 1 to n, variance of xi. This xi means p value we already know. So this is I goes to 1 to n, 1 minus pi by pi square, individual pi's. So this I can write it. If I ignore this part, 1 by pi, this I can write it as I equals to 1 to n 1 by pi square. This is what? So that means variance of x less or equals to sum over I equals to 1 to n. Pi value was what? What we have calculated? Probability value, what is that?
N minus I plus 1.
Okay, yeah. This is not xi. Okay, I have done a step jump here, so don't get confused here, okay? Yeah, xi equals to 1 by pi equals to this. Pi equals to I'm doing something wrong, right? Where is the mistake? Can you find it for me? Value of pi is this. U of xi is 1 by
U of x will be reciprocal of it'll be n by n minus I plus 1 only U of x.
this one you are telling, no? This is I have done incorrectly. Yeah, this one. Now this will work, I hope. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so this is 1 by pi square. Now you put that, this value, pi equals to 1 to n minus I plus 1 by n square. This series, this is a series. So this series you can, so if I take it, this is n square into I equals to 1 to n, again 1 by I whole square. This series particularly can be written as pi square by 6. This is less or equals to n square pi square by 6, where this I equals to 1 to n 1 by I square equals to I square by 6. This is a fixed series. Okay, so if I get this as variance, now we apply this geometric random variables variance value. Where is that? Here. Now we apply it. You can write it here also. So probability of x minus Ex is what? NHN greater than equals to, I want to see how much it is varying from this NHN value. NHN, this will be less or equals to variance of x by this square NHN, n square HN square. This is what? N square pi square by 6 n square HN square. You tell me what is this? Pi square by
6 HN.
6 HN. HN is log n. This is pi square by 6 is actually constant. So basically what I am getting is order of 1 by log square n or log n whole square. Okay, base e. This is what I am getting. So this is the, so this means what? So if you take the variance, like difference between the expected value and the expected value and the original value to be more than the expected value, that is only this difference between actual value of x and its expectation can be less, can be at maximum order of 1 by log n square. Okay, so this is the conclusion you can get from this Chebyshev simple. Okay, there is another twist here. When I am taking I can write is the probability. The probability of the difference between actual value of x and its expectation to be more than n h, more than the expected value. Can be of maximum this. So this is the translation of what is written here. Okay. Any doubts so far?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so what we are trying to do is we are trying to achieve better bound of our success. So like we are reducing the probability that we might fail even if we collect this many number of boxes. So here that means if you collect, so the difference I am taking as NHN. So if I collect 2 HN, so again we are getting collect 2 into n HN boxes. That means probability of success is order of 1 by log n square. Okay, this is the probability we are getting from Chebyshev inequality. Now, if you want to be more more strict, you want to be almost like this, even this probability is not sufficient for you. In that case, what you have to do is you have to go for straight like classic application of probability. What you have to do in this case, okay, here what I have written, are you agreeing with this? That I am saying that you collect 2 n HN boxes. In that case, your probability of success will be order of 1 by log of n whole square. Now, if you want to have better bound, then you think like you have these boxes. Say you have collected t number of boxes, and still you have not got say the ith coupon. Ith coupon is not in any of these boxes. What is the probability of that? Each coupon is individual, right? So, to whether the coupon belongs to one box or not, that probability is fixed for any particular box. What is that probability? Number of coupon is n. So, ith coupon is one particular coupon. That coupon might belong to one box or not. That probability is 1 by n. Now, so what I am telling is probability of ith coupon to belong to one box. This is 1 by n. Same to not belong to any that box. Okay. That is equals to 1 minus 1 by n. Agreed? Now I am taking that the probability of this particular coupon not belonging to any of these boxes. I have t number of boxes and this coupon is not belonging to any of these boxes. What will be my probability? This will be what? 1 minus 1 by n whole to the power t, isn't it? I have t number of boxes, all boxes are independent and each coupon can be included in that box or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Each box can contain only one coupon. Okay, so this is my probability of this ith coupon not to be included. Now let us take the value of t. Take t equals to 2n hn, or let us simplify 2n log n base n. Then what will be this value? So this particular probability is y. Then PR of y is equals to 1 minus 1 by n to the power when log n base c. Now you tell me what is this, or what is it is less or equals to. I give you a hint. You might have used this already. And if you remember, 1 plus x is less or equals to e to the power x. This you use and you tell me what you can get out of it.
It'll be 1 by x n square. It's like for randomized pin code, we did the same one. Be 1 by n square if I remember.
1 by n square, yeah, exactly. So it is equals to e minus e to the power minus this value. This is t 2 n log n base e by n, so equals to 1 by n square. This is the probability of the event. Which event? That ith coupon is not included in any of the t boxes, even if I collect 2n hn number of boxes. Now just split up the event. We have n distinct coupons. I have considered only one coupon. So for each of the coupons, the similar kind of activity is going to happen. So if I take the union bound, what I will be getting? We have n coupons. That means n distinct individual events. So you take union bound of probability. That means what? Probability that there exists an I that is not included in any of the T boxes. So I is now a variable. This I itself becomes a variable. Previously I was considering I as a particular coupon. Here we are considering any I. So this event is what? This is less or equals to, I have n number of i's, and for each of these i's the probability is 1 by n square. So taking union bound, what I can get is n by n square, that is less or equals to 1 by n, right? What does it mean? If you buy 2n log n base c number of boxes, then probability of winning is at least what? So if we buy 2n hn or 2n log n base c number of boxes, probability of winning is at least what? You tell me now. This is the probability of failure.
1 minus 1 by n.
Yeah, exactly. So this is probability of failure. So this is at least 1 minus 1 by n, or you can write it as, what is this?
N minus 1 by n, which is high. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah, so probability of this, say, success is greater than or equals to 1 minus 1 by n, which is very high. This is pretty high if you take n as large. So you can almost surely be winning if you take 2n hn or 2n log n number of coupons. So even if you are going to like opt for a coupon collector problem or say coupon collector competition, then always choose this. This is going to be your magic number. If you know how many number of coupons are there, you go for this many numbers of coupons or this many number of boxes, then you can almost surely win it. So you surely win. And there is a small almost. I can ignore it. Okay, that's it from coupon collectors problem. Any confusion, any doubt? So what we did is we first took expectation, then we calculated the variance that is required for finding the Chebyshev inequality. Chebyshev inequality also gives you a probability. That probability is this, order of 1 by log of n, log of n whole square, base, any base. I have taken base, this I should not use this base. Okay, so but before that also, from Markov's inequality you are using this same thing from Markov's inequality. Yeah, this one Markov's inequality. I was actually taking the same value 2n hn, but it is giving you 50% chance. Chebyshev inequality just gives you a better chance. Like even if you collect the same number of coupons, it is saying that yeah, you have a chance of winning as this. Now you forget everything to do the classic kind of computation. And this computation tells you that you actually are going to be surely winning if you do this. If you collect the same number of coupons, the number of boxes we are talking about, that number is for every case it is same, but we are just changing the probability value. We just try out the what is the probability that if I collect this many number of boxes that I am going to win. And here ultimately we can be convinced that yeah, we are going to win. Okay.